As I said, we're going to be coming back to this Jose story. So now we're really going to go down into the when clauses and give some more specific examples. So there's different ways, as I mentioned in the last one, of how we organize our storytelling. And we do it naturally in English. We somehow learned. And now we're going to practice doing it a little bit less naturally, a little bit more artificially in through using this story. And then we'll use it in our own personal lives. In class, we'll talk about things. I'll probably give a couple of examples in these videos. But you can organize your life story, by age references. So when you were and we'll go through other ones each through each of these different lectures throughout the Unit 15. So right now, and deaf school, boom, you could do. So notice how when you enter, if you do it off in that direction, you're setting up that that's where the location would be. You wouldn't do entered deaf school over there. That wouldn't make any sense, right? So, or so any one of those will work, right? As long as the information is sort of lumped together and connected. So notice how 1942, age 22, right? So I put one arrow. I probably should have put two arrows or put a little bracket between. But the idea is that 1942 started, transferred, went from Gallaudet to Iowa School for the Deaf job. That's not my signature. That's someone else. And I'm setting it up because another location is offering a job, right? It's not from here. Job, right? And notice I'm setting up offer job, principal. That's a new idea, right? Again, these when clauses. Eyebrows up, blah, blah, blah. Retired. I mean, it's also signed for vacation, but we kind of get it when it's at 60. Wow. So now is when we would start retelling a story of, okay, tell me your story, organize it by age. Give me 5 different things. So this is what I want you to practice. I want you to pick out 5 points through your life, 5 ages where things happened, and tell a story based on that. And then we'll tell those same 5 ones where you're going to change and tell it by year, or go by the event, or a process, a series of events. Okay. So, for example, And if it's a positive statement, remember, always nods the head. And then, you know, we could ask, I could just write ages on the board. Be like, so when you were 16, everybody tell me something that happened, right? It still says identify the ailment. I cut and pasted the template, so just ignore that. In the actual one, hopefully it'll be fixed. So you could vary it. Like if you're telling a story about mom, um, and again, organized by when she was 20, when she was 30, when she was 40. Um, so much of learning science is just repeating this pattern and getting the body used to signing things like that. So, say, tell your cousin's life story. Cousin, father, sister, brother, right? Sister, brother, wife, husband, aunt, uncle, daughter. And remember, daughter, if you do it without the bottom hand, daughter, tends to be older versus daughter. Um, the best rule of thumb I have for that is if the child is of an age where they go, I'm not a baby, I'm not a kid anymore, that's the best time to transition to this son, daughter. Okay. If they're young enough where they don't really complain about it, or if they're an actual baby. I would also jump back about cousin. You can gender the sign for cousin, making male or female, but most of the time we just do cousin on the side. Grandmother, grandfather. Technically speaking, it's grandfather, grandmother. It's once because it moves from mother to mother's mother, father to father's father. But more and more so, people are now just starting grandma, grandpa. Right? So you could refer to things by a sequence of ages. You could refer to things by other events when something happened. So hopefully, you're getting used to reading gloss as well. Graduated Gallaudet. What happened immediately afterwards? He transferred to Iowa School for the Deaf. So you can sequence events. Say when this happened, this happened. When they graduated, they transferred. When they were offered, they accepted the job. When they took the job, sold the house. So here are lots of examples of sequences of events that happened. That's such a harsh transition. Like, oh, how are these connected? Anyway, um, oh, like later. I like adding in transition signs. I like transitions. So um, I will default to adding a little bit more illustration when I can. And then we're going to use this template and practice this. Again, most of the time this will just come up naturally in conversation. Getting used to those line phrases, just lots to practice with and get used to. Move to, when you see move, tends to be if you're not specifying where you're going, it's just boop, moved. This, they moved away, right? If you're going to be specific, move to, right? Picked up from here, landed here. You could also move here. If you're saying someone moved here from somewhere else, unspecified, right? And then you could vary it. Again, like we did with the other one where who are the people we're talking about? Give a couple of examples. Boss, co-worker, or co-worker. I'm very washed out with this light. New camera. Neighbor, right? Next door person. Friend, best friend. Now I'm saying student this way, which is a bit of an evolution of it. Right? It's not student. That's the formal sign. Student, learn person, student, and you can see where it comes from. Student, student. Boyfriend, girlfriend, very old-fashioned signs. People still use it, but sweetheart. And what's nice about this is it's gender neutral, right? Okay. And then again, I'll add in some narrative practice stuff from the student book over time, but you've got the book, so we don't need to have that in there. And as I find vocab on YouTube, you can search for it. By now, I'm sure you've searched everything on YouTube for these units, but if I find ones that I like particularly or ones I want you to avoid, I may put them in the PowerPoint itself.